week. So we've got eight events spread over the week. We started yesterday, we had 2, so it's been non-stop. And the idea is to get a group of women, intimate events, talking about all the things that matter in beauty. And today we're going to be talking about something so pertinent, I think, to all of us. A lot of us are mums in this room, so social media and beauty. So we'll get.
Good evening, friends. How are you this evening? Have you had a fun day? I had another really fun day today. Loads of connection, loads of learning. My perfect ideal day, all wrapped up with a bit of more summer snow behind me down by the river walking Rocky. But let me tell you a little bit about my today because I went to another This Is YorKshire Beauty event, which was so important and a topic so relevant. And again, very close to my heart, talking about social media and the impact it can have on our communities, on our mental health and on our children. And while the topic was very much about the damage that social media can be doing and the bad press that social media is getting at the moment, I felt it was really important to share that social media can be an incredibly positive platform for change and for good. And I wanted to share my story as part of that. And you know me well enough, I did. I spoke up and shared my story because I felt it was really important to put a balanced point of view across. And my experience with social media is that it saved my life. It really did. When I had left my corporate career, I felt like I'd lost my identity. I also lost a lot of friends in doing so. I didn't have any of my colleagues anymore. Then my mum died suddenly, and I lost the one person who loved me the most and who I could talk to very easily. And then my marriage fell apart and I separated. And not only did I lose my one true love, but I also lost an awful lot of my social network at that time. And I was diagnosed with clinical depression, PTSD, insomnia and an eating disorder. And I had no one to turn to, other than making connections on social media and watching and listening the very, very inspirational stories of the women who were brave enough to share how they had gotten through grief, betrayal, how they had gotten through creating new identities. So this is why I come onto social media and share my story so openly, and why I talk about how I'm moving through the life things that happen, the life situations, the life issues. I come in and share what I'm working on, how I'm leading myself through everything that happens in life, so that anybody else who's out there can tune in and listen and hear and get some guidance and some hope and inspiration. And I will always be forever thankful for all of the women whose stories that I watched when I didn't have anyone to turn to, when I didn't have anybody to ask the advice of. I went on to YouTube, Facebook. I don't think Instagram was doing video at the time, but I used those platforms as my sources of inspiration and hope. So if you're somebody out there using these platforms as stories of inspiration, or platforms where you can share your stories of inspiration, thank you. And thank you to all the people who have done in the past. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.